Well, it turns out gaming's worst kept secret is just that, as Bethesda and Virtuous announced and released the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered in a surprise shadow drop. Oblivion is a game that has a special place in gaming for many people. Like the other Elder Scrolls games before it, it did its part to redefine and expand the RPG genre. For me, Oblivion was the first game to give me a wow moment. Almost 20 years later, I still remember picking up Oblivion, switching my Xbox 360 from a SCART cable to a HDMI cable, and being absolutely blown away by the quality of the graphics. It was the first game that made me stop and just stare in awe at every tree, rock and building, enthralled with just how realistic the game looked. And it looks like Oblivion Remastered has captured that wonder for many people, with a swath of new players and streamers flocking to play the game for the first time, or to relive that wonder they felt playing the first time. I was on the fence about picking up Oblivion, but FOMO got the better of me and here we are. So, without further ado, I'm Freethought Gaming and this is my review of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Oblivion Remastered, despite being called so much, has sparked some debate as to whether or not it is purely a remaster or is indeed a remake. Debate further in the comments, but I see remasters and remakes on a scale from a pure remaster that just moves existing assets into a new engine and upscales textures with minimal changes, to a pure remake that rebuilds the exact same game from scratch with minor quality of life or optimization changes, to reimaginations that remake the game from scratch but have enough changes from the game to set itself apart from the original. Any more significant deviations from that veer into sequel or reboot territory. So where does Oblivion sit on this scale? Well, I think it's part way between remaster and remake, maybe about 60% remake. Bethesda and Virtuous have described the game as having the code of the original game in the brain of a new Unreal Engine 5 body. But what does that mean? Well, it means that the things you would expect to stay the same are the same. Locations in the world, the basics of combat, the framework of leveling system, and quests all remain how they were in the original, but everything else around them has been remade to as closely match the original as possible, but with completely new assets made for the Unreal 5 engine. That means new textures and models for every NPC, enemy, weapon, armor, and object. New voice acting to complement all the originals, new AI designed to emulate the original, new animations, additional animations, a new HUD to make things easier for new players, improved compass, sprinting, a dodge, new re-recorded sound effects, and changes to aspects of leveling and combat that bring them closer to Skyrim for the convenience of new players, and a modernised third-person experience. Some of these changes will have an impact on how you play the game, from the inclusion of headshots from changes to leveling. For me, the idea that the old code is running everything in a completely new Unreal 5 body illustrates the changes and additions are significant enough for this to lean more into the remake sphere. But these things aren't clearly defined, muddied further by the use of remake and remaster as marketing terms to signal different things to players. So let me know in the comments below how you differentiate between remaster and remake. Is it on a scale like me, or do certain criteria have to be met? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Playing Oblivion again for the first time in almost 20 years has been an endlessly enjoyable trip down memory lane. Whether you see this as a remaster or remake, it's hard to deny that this is how it should be done. The new Unreal Engine 5 graphics are outstanding. This is how I saw Oblivion all those years ago. Exploring the open world of Cyrodiil is a good time. The world is vast and varied, offering plenty of world building, people, stories and quests to discover. At no point does Oblivion hold your hand and force you to go anywhere or do anything. Want to become the best thief in the land? Feel free to break into and loot every house you come across. Go hunting. Buy a house and fill it with useless stuff. Forage ingredients for potions. The world truly is your sandbox. As you explore the world, everything you do will help to progress your character's overall level by improving your skills in a wide range of things, from combat skills like blades, marksmanship and armor skill, to utility skills such as alchemy, speechcraft and athleticism. While progressing your overall level, these skills will also unlock new perks and abilities as you unlock them. Reaching high levels of sneak will make you harder to detect, while higher levels in security reduce the punishment for failing lockpicking. Minor skills contributing to your overall level is a change from the original system, as is the ability to freely choose how to distribute ability points each level, as opposed to this being determined by the skills you had leveled. The leveling system is what makes everything you do in Oblivion feel both rewarding and worthwhile, and is in part a factor of why people's first playthrough of Oblivion is so memorable and so impactful. It's certainly the case for me, and the remaster has only highlighted the degree to which so much rewarding complexity and freedom has been lost over time throughout the genre. Few modern games match the vast and open-ended nature of Oblivion's varied systems. The changes that have been made in the remaster are all for the better, and while it remains to be seen just how much of an impact changes to the leveling and combat will have on the experience once progressed further, it's clear that everything that has been changed has been done so to streamline the original system while making it more user-friendly for newcomers to the series. It's the visual changes that have had the biggest impact though, and not always for the best. While the old creation engine remains at the heart of how the game is played, it's through the inclusion of the Unreal Engine that the remaster makes its biggest impact. Here, new assets, animations and sounds have been utilised to refine the Oblivion experience to reflect the original game in a shiny new way. The game is freaking stunning. Honestly, it's absolutely incredible. I said it earlier, but playing in 4K, this feels exactly how Oblivion appeared to me as a kid when I first upgraded to a HDMI cable and was blown away by how realistic the game was in HD. There's no shortage of wow moments here, from gorgeous scenes straight out of Tolkien as the world of Cyrodiil is brought to life with dense foliage, high quality textures and stunning reflections and lighting, to incredible attention to fine details. But the Unreal Engine wrapper is also where the Oblivion remaster finds the majority of its flaws. In a game of this age, renowned and beloved for its buggy and janky nature, back when we accepted Bethesda jank as part of the charm, I fully expected the classic bugs and iconic mistakes to be there, and even if the code had been completely rewritten, I would have expected them to be put right back in order to preserve part of what made the original game so memorable. So I was pleasantly surprised to find that some of the less renowned bugs have either been fixed in the remaster or workarounds added to ensure that they no longer disrupt the player's ability to complete quests and progress the game. Unfortunately, the Unreal Engine 5 has introduced far more issues than were present in the original game, centered mostly around performance. I have to say, I feel like throughout my over 2 decades of gaming, I tend to be on the fairly lucky side when it comes to bugs and performance issues in-game. It's a rarity, if ever, that I really experience any, even in games that at release are known for their poor performance. And well, Oblivion is one of those games to some degree. Now that's not to say that I haven't experienced performance issues, as I have, but they have been thankfully fairly minor, with the majority of issues I've been experiencing revolving almost entirely around lighting. In my playthrough, I've spent several hours in both the PlayStation 5's quality and performance modes. I've seen reports that Oblivion has been having atrocious performance for some people, particularly on PC and on the PS5's performance mode, and for me, that's not really been the case, though there have been a couple of distinct differences in my experiences in quality and performance mode. Both have performed fairly well for me, the big differences being that quality mode has seen far greater stability with some brief drops in frames when sprinting. The biggest issue in quality mode is that there are far more issues related to lighting when playing and the occasional instance of the game getting stuck on a loading screen when entering the open world. Performance mode is notably less stable, with frames dropping in combat as well as sprinting and at random other moments. Lighting seems to be more stable, with instances of spotlighting occurring less frequently and lasting for shorter periods of time. Performance mode has also seen more pop-in of textures and assets in the distance. Neither perform particularly badly, and honestly I'd be happy playing with either. In the end, I settled on performance mode purely because I found the lighting issues to be far more noticeable and more annoying. Otherwise, there have been a few minor bugs that have cropped up that really have had basically no impact on my experience, from quest markers not updating properly on the compass to match the location marked on the map, to NPCs sitting on invisible chairs. So what does this mean for Oblivion Remastered overall? At the end of the day, it's still a fantastic experience and absolutely meets or exceeds many modern RPGs. There's a huge amount of things to do in a massive and varied world, and the care and attention that has been put into bringing this experience onto modern consoles is incredible. Oblivion Remastered is an intensely faithful recreation of what made Oblivion so special all those years ago, and shows the timeless nature of a truly open RPG. That being said, the performance issues have to be noted. It's a 20-year-old game, and Bethesda cannot continue to rest on their laurels with performance and polish for their games. While I may not have currently experienced a huge amount of severe issues, it is still an issue, and I feel I have to take that into account. I can forgive the iconic jank, but it wouldn't be Oblivion without it. But to me, there is no justification for dropping the ball so heavily on quality control in 2025 and releasing what has been noted as one of the worst performing games ever tested by some influential benchmarkers. That leaves me with a final verdict of 8. I think that's reasonable. Oblivion Remastered is an incredible experience that brings a classic game to modern audiences, demonstrates the timeless nature of the game's style, but it is hampered by a range of technical and performance issues. As always, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, you can help the channel out by either subscribing, liking the video, or leaving a comment. If you want to see more of my reviews, stay tuned to see what YouTube thinks you'll like, or you can check out my written reviews of games, TV and film over at smashjump.com. Until next time, happy gaming!